The approach is very important. These are some things that we do in order to train this. Simple, a tennis ball get-off drill. Outside foot, loaded stance. They're trying to dip and rip. All right, you can see the banded position that this makes the guys get into here. I'm trying to roll that ball in between 4 and 5 yards. All right, in front of me, where they have to come inside to get it. And then we like to finish this with an attack on a bag to work a strip sack. So scooping it with the inside hand and then working towards stripping the ball. And I take my hand like a snap, back, there's your snap, they take off, and then I roll the ball. So that is a visual key right there, learning to key the ball, and I mix that with a hard count to simulate that in that instance. The tag drill. Now we're using all visual key. I am keying the pad tip. It is a race 4 yards behind his outside foot, and I'm trying to get to the shoulder, beat him to the spot, and then again we'll finish on the quarterback. All right, this is a great drill for just getting your guys not to be surprised when they see a pass set. It's all about how fast can I close to that shoulder and work that move so that I can continue to build and get to that spot to beat that offensive lineman. Again, this uses a visual key. Setup is very simple. He's putting his foot 1 yard from the line of scrimmage. So we have a yard, which simulates the neutral zone and the tackles being off the ball, to work to the outside edge to make the sack at 5 yards. And we can do that both ways. This is a great summer or early spring drill. You can do this at any time that you want to in order to work your takeoff. And you see Jaden here. Weight on both feet, knees bent, front knee out over toe, and there is no false step there. He blows right around him to the bag. All right, and then within our approach, we do our hip drills in our approach series. You are not going to be good in pass rush if your guys don't have good hips. They're going to be pushed upfield. You're not going to be able to finish your moves, and you can be great as you can be with your hands, but if you don't have the feet and the hips to put with it, you're never going to finish. So we use a tight bag, slightly offset, about a yard and a half offset, 45-degree angle. We'll go inside, outside, again, finishing on a third bag. And you want to stay tight to the fight. And what I mean by that, you want to stay as tight to these bags as you possibly can right here, and then accelerate through that spot for your finish. And you see Teddy right here, really wide off the front. The hips never twist, so he doesn't get a ton of work until this second one. Now, this is staying tight to the fight. I'm working to get my toes pointed towards the quarterback. You can see it right there. And now I can accelerate to go make my finish. We rep this by a 3-step recognition. I'm going to be the offensive lineman in this case. All right, we had my GA over here off a screen giving a hard count and snapping a ball. We have a cone or object to simulate where that 4-yard mark is. And now these guys are reading my set. Did they get even with the arms or hips? If they do, by that landmark, you're finishing on the outside. And shame on me, I do not have a bag there for them to strip. I was really focused on trying to teach them about the move. Here we go. We got them with the hard count. That's going to come in on third downs. So you set them up. All right. There it is. There was space between us. He sees I'm retreating. He goes with the power, and so on. So we use this drill in order to teach these guys what move to use in what scenario. At that point, here's a bad example. I have front position on him the whole time. I beat him to his spot. He should either counter under or use power to take me back to the quarterback. So I tried to put in some good and bad clips so you guys know what you're coaching as you do this. All right, once you get the set recognition down, all right, and that was a really nice job by Braylon right there. Now you can start to build your repertoire of what you want to do. When it comes to hands, a lot of this stuff can be very, very low impact. It doesn't need to kill your guys. Just a simple arm swipe, all right? You want to hit both hands as you swipe, inside and outside wrist. The toe points towards the quarterback, and now we're accelerating with our drive arm working to the ball. You do this both ways, active hands, and stepping through, turning the toe towards the quarterback. A nice way to get an introduction into your hands. And now a similar drill. They're still stepping through with their hands. It's just multiple segments of it, slowing the movement down, working hands and hips. You have to learn that your hands and your upper body movement must coincide with what your lower body does and your toes getting towards the quarterback. So we were just working through, stepping through. It gives the guys 4 reps of it, and then they have a speed finish at the end. From that point, all right, if you have a pass rush bag, you can use pass rush bags. You can use another individual, just something to allow those guys to work it on a live object instead of just on air. And we went from working the bag right here, same thing, to now finishing it to a tight finish, getting all the way around to the bag here so that we can simulate toes towards the quarterback, running the hoop, and there's your strip sack finish. Once we get to that, now we're going with our 4-step approach. I am purposefully in a lower position here so these guys know to win on the outside, and now they have an aiming point in which to beat the hands on a live hand shot. All right, so we build it from air to stationary to a moving target, and I think it's very important that you build in that way.